Thomas, can you speak to us a little bit about how important Mateo Kovacic has been for your team this season, and crucially, is he available to you for this game?
We will try it today, actually, which is pretty surprising news that we are even in the situation where we can try it. But Mateo wants to try it, and medical department gave green light to try it. The advantage is that the ligament is anyway torn from the last incident, so there's no new injury, but heavy pain, and was heavily swollen. So we're hoping that maybe time is enough that he makes it, but we will try it in 2.5 hours in training, and then we know more about it. He was again in the game. He was very, very good, and in general he stepped up this season again. In his game, well, the qualities of him and the personality, we've spoken a lot about it. His dribblings, carrying the ball, his driving with the ball is excellent. He's a top team player, played many years for Real Madrid, so he knows what it takes to also sometimes take put the ego aside and serve the team. This is what he is. Fantastic guy and fantastic player. We missed him too much this season. He had some injuries, and we missed him over many weeks. And then at the same time, we missed Shorshi and N'Golo. That cost us a little bit. And unfortunately, now he is so ambitious. He has this injury now before the FA Cup final, because he was excellent in the matches against Liverpool lately. So we will try everything and see tomorrow.
Do you see this game following a similar theme to the previous meetings with Liverpool this season, that high intensity type of game?
Yeah,
really
everything else.
For the neutrals.
Everything else would surprise me. It started with last season's win at Anfield, and started with in very early in this season with a draw at Anfield, and then a draw at Stamford Bridge, and then a draw over 120 minutes and 20 something penalties. So very close matches, very intense matches, and always we needed our very highest level to compete. But we found it in the matches, and I don't expect crazy new things from them, and actually also not from us. So the game is on tomorrow. It's a big final, a big competition, and we want to be spot on.
5th FA Cup final in the last 6 years, and they've only won one of those.
Haven't won any of those.
They've won one.
One.
Yeah, one of them. Why would you say that is?
If I knew, I would change it. I don't know. I can only say that, we were last year with me, so also in the final against Leicester, and we will try it again. I don't know why it's that. First of all, it's a big achievement to be in these finals. And there has to be, unfortunately, a loser, and in these finals is a special energy, is a special atmosphere, it's a special momentum that you have to catch, and for sure you need a piece of luck to go away with a trophy. We are aware of that, but we feel again well prepared, and the atmosphere is right. The momentum is okay after the reaction in Leeds, and everybody knows what we are up to, and we want to arrive, of course, to give Liverpool a hard fight. I don't know if there is one reason for it why it's like this, and I would prefer to point out the positive, that it's like a 5th cup final in 6 years, which shows the competitive spirit that we have.
Your team and Klopp's team obviously well matched this season. All the games after 90 minutes have been drawn.
Yeah.
You and Jurgen obviously know each other really well. What will tomorrow come down to? What small margin will you think tonight? Have I had that attention to detail?
I think it can be anything. It can be a shot from the post, and it's deflected, and it's from the post out and from the post in. It can be a set piece. It can be, well, look at the big chances we had. They had big chances in Carabao Cup. It can be who gets the lead first, who gets the grip, whatever. You have to be spot on in these kind of matches. There were such close matches lately, with decisions, sometimes red cards, sometimes a big mistake here, and then we came back at Stamford Bridge, and they came back at Anfield with a penalty, and then we had to dig in with 10 men. So a lot of different stories. That's why I think we cannot focus on one single point. And but I agree with you. It will be down to margins, and it will be down to details within the match. We are facing one of the very best coaches and one of the very best teams in the world right now. This is obvious, and it's proven over the last years and recent weeks. And we're up for the fight.
Thomas Tuchel hoping to break Chelsea's Wembley curse. It will be their third consecutive FA Cup final. They, of course, lost the Carabao Cup to Liverpool, also at Wembley. Adam, you will be there attending this game. You'll be reporting live. What is the atmosphere like going into this match? Because, you know, the FA Cup has so much history in England.
It's the 141st edition of the FA Cup. So, I mean, the history... It is absolutely steeped in it. And I can just throw out all the cliches, the magic of the FA Cup, the form book goes out the window. But it's so nice to have these two teams facing off again, because I remember the League Cup final. I think it was in February. It was goalless, and Liverpool won it on penalties. But I tell you what, it was one of the best goalless matches I've ever seen in my lifetime. It was end-to-end stuff. And Faiz, would you agree with me if I said that it's two sides that the managers trust their players so much? The players are of such a high level, such a high caliber, that they're not afraid to go for it. And I think that's what makes this match an enticing one.
Completely, 100% agree with you, Adam. And yeah, I'm going to agree with another fact that Adam put out there, the fact that it is the best and goalless game ever. I remember the match being so electric. Christian Pulisic nearly scored on one end, and 30 seconds later, Sadio Mane nearly scored on the other end. And I think tonight we'll see similar game. Both of this manager would win the game for all the different reasons. Liverpool lifting the cup for 16 years now, 15 years now, and the fact that Chelsea would want to, like you said, end the curse in Wembley. So it is a very interesting matchup, isn't it, Adam?
Yes, I want to know what Reem's thinking, because Chelsea have history in this, don't they? Klopp was talking about it earlier on, how often they've won it since that Gerrard final in the mid-2000s. I think it's, well, they lost last year, Leicester won it, and then before that, Arsenal won it. They've been in 5 of the last 6. But what are you thinking, Reem? What are you feeling about this?
I think there's still better time for Liverpool to compete for this FA Cup, because I was listening to Klopp's press conference. He did mention when he first entered the club, you know, the priority was to qualify for Champions League. Unfortunately, you know, the domestic cup championships had to be sort of not, you know, pushed aside a little bit just to get these goals in place, because they need to attract the right kind of players, right? And to do that, you need to be playing in Champions League. So he laid it out very well, and I think they are in a good position. Just looking at form, I know you say when it comes to cup competitions, form goes out of with the window, but I feel, you know, Liverpool have a momentum going on, and the fact that the quadruple might not be a possibility now. The treble is still there, all up for grabs. So they've done it in the League Cup against Chelsea. Hopefully they'll do it again. I know the quality of these two teams are so... It's just like slight margins, right? As you would say. And they've been, you know, all the meetups that they had this season have ended up in draws, except for the League Cup, which, you know, it was just down to the keepers, isn't it, at the end of the day? And I'm expecting something similar. It'll probably go into extra time. It'll probably go into penalties.
Now that you mentioned that, Reem, I would like to know from Adam's point of view, all right, Adam? So, Liverpool is risking losing the treble or quadruple or whatever by not winning against Chelsea tonight, right? So would you think that would be an extra pressure for them in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, for the last, I would say, 2-3 weeks, we've been saying that every match they play in every competition is considered effectively a cup final. In today's case, it literally is.
Absolutely,
when they play their next cup final at the end of May, the Champions League final, that will literally be a final, and they have every Premier League game to play for as well. I think that it's the Klopp thing, mentality monsters, right? So I think they're able to treat each game as it comes. If the quadruple that doesn't happen, it's okay. They have one trophy in the bag. They're still trying to push Manchester City. And of course, there's the Champions League to look forward to as well, and revenge on the cards perhaps. One thing I will stress, though, is this is the first FA Cup final that we're going to have in a couple of years, in 2019, in front of a capacity crowd as well. So that's another thing I'm looking forward to. Even last year, it was only partially filled. So to have a full Wembley Stadium, I think it's going to make it really enticing. I'm hoping it comes across on camera as well for all of our Malaysian viewers and fans around the world as well.
Adam is making us jealous there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, guys, before we wrap up the show, we don't have much time left, as much as we'd like to go on about the FA Cup final. What's your prediction then, Faiz? Just a quick one.
I'm so sorry again, Reem.
Oh, no.
I have to
Why
apologize.
do you like to do this to me, this show? He's
I have to apologize to
anti-Liverpool
Reem.
today.
I have to apologize to Reem many times today, Adam. I hope she understands it. But I think Chelsea will end their curse with a very small margin. 2-1 to Chelsea.
2-1 to Chelsea, okay.
What about you,
Adama,
Adama?
Adama, what do you think?
I disagree. They say third time's a charm for Chelsea after losing the last couple of finals, but I think it's going to be Liverpool. So I think Lukaku's got a bit of form. I know he's got 3 goals in 2 games, having not scored a league goal since December of last year. But I think that Liverpool have too much in the tank right now. I think that with Luis Diaz on his form as well, the standout player in the Premier League, I think Liverpool will just about nick it. Might be penalties, might be normal time, I don't know. But I think the Reds have just got enough.
Awesome, Adam. Totally agree with you 100%
What about
with
you? What about
everything
you?
you said. I mean,
From you.
I sort of gave my prediction, Tadira. I said it'll go down to the final wire, extra time, penalties. Yeah, Liverpool to win it. I
Right.
mean, as simple as that. Don't want to jinx anything.